Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is Tuesday, it's May 30th of 2023, and today I want to talk to you, I want to bring you up to date about how everything is going here on Holland America's Eurodam. If you're new around here, we are on a 7-day cruise. It is round trip from Seattle to Alaska. We are having an absolutely wonderful time. And I also want to talk to you just about some changes that we noticed. Noticed in Juneau as far as tourism goes, and some things that I think are really important to think about when you are choosing your excursion, some information that I think you will find valuable. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's start off talking about how things seem to have changed a little bit in Juneau. So we have been cruising to Alaska. The very first time we went was in 2014, and this is my 5th time coming, so it's over a span of 9 years. Well, there are a lot more people coming to Juneau on cruise ships now. The day that we were in port, when we arrived there, the Royal Princess, I believe, was already there, or else she came right behind us. And then the Holland America Koningsdam came in right after us because we saw her come in, and if you watch our live, you'll see her sail in. And then by the time we had come back from our excursion, the Celebrity Solstice was already there, and it was really, really busy in port. We noticed it in the shops when we were looking around after we were done with our excursion, and in so many people trying to find their excursion once we got off the ship. So when we were in Juneau, our ticket said that we were supposed to meet with our group at the end of the pier, and that's where everyone else was meeting as well. And I will start off by saying it was really disorganized. Usually when you meet your group at the end of the pier or off the ship, they will have people holding up little signs that will say the name of your excursion and the number that is on it associated with it, and then you go stand with those people. So with Holland America, what they were doing is, on Holland America, your excursion tickets are on your app, and they scan them. That's how they check you in for the excursion. So they had a gentleman scanning people's apps, and then he would say, you go over there, which was like around and down to the people in the yellow coats. So we went around and walked down the sidewalk there until we found people in yellow coats. We told them what our tour was, and they pointed us to a bus. So we went to get on the bus and ended up sitting down on the bus, and 2 times while we were waiting to go, they had to come on and say, you know what, there are people on this bus that aren't supposed to be on this bus because our bus holds, X number of people for this tour, and we've got people out here that are booked on this tour, so there's got to be people here that are not supposed to be on this tour. Sure enough, they were on the wrong bus and had to get off. Then they could bring on all the people who really were on the tour. That happened twice before we were finally ready to go. So when you come on your cruise, and I'm thinking that the people running the tours will hopefully get the system going more smoothly. This is the end of May, and so they've been doing this since the beginning of May. So I would hope that they would maybe streamline it a little bit, but just be aware of what's going on so that when you come, you know that it's going to probably be a little bit chaotic, at least until they hit their groove with it, and with so many people. Now, I will say that our bus driver was excellent. He drove us. We took the Mendenhall Glacier, and Whale Quest was the name of the excursion. We booked it with Holland America. He was excellent. He drove us from the ship area there down to where we took the whale watching tour, and then he drove us from there over to the Mendenhall Glacier, and then back from the Mendenhall Glacier to the ship. He did an excellent job. He told us about the area, the history, some interesting anecdotes. He did a really good job, and he was a safe bus driver. And so that was very nice. But let me tell you a couple of things. So first of all, there are so many more people coming to Alaska on a cruise than there used to be, and that is just, I think, the march of time and how tourism works. One really big different thing that I noticed, though, is we booked this, we were booked, on the helicopter sightseeing excursion until I worried about it enough that we canceled it. Well, we wouldn't have been able to do it that day anyway. I don't know if the helicopters actually went up to the glacier or not, which is what we had booked, but it was pouring and the visibility was low, so I would suspect that they didn't go. Even if they did go, I wouldn't have done it because I would have been worried about it enough But anyway, it was close enough to time to go on the cruise that what I would have picked was not available. What I would have picked was not available. And so we went ahead and picked this one, thinking it would be similar to the whale watching excursions that we had seen in the past. So they have changed it. It used to be that all of the whale watching excursions went out of this little small harbor, little area there that they have in Juneau, where there are lots of other little boats tied up. It was just their place. But now, just down from that, a little bit further out of town, I would say as directions go, I'm not that familiar with Juneau, but further out, they have this whole new concrete pier that they have built, Allen Marine, just to house tourism sightseeing boats. That's all it is. And the boats that they put the people on to do their whale watching are much bigger than they used to be. Now, I know why they're doing this, because they have so many more tourists. It is really much, they earn a lot more when they can put a lot more people on the boat. The net result, though, is on our excursion, there were lots and lots of people, and it was much higher up it wasn't close down to the water. You were much higher up, and it was not the same experience that you have when you go on the smaller boats that they used to routinely use to go see the whales, and that's what we had experienced before. So there is nothing wrong with what they're doing. That's not my point. My point is, what I want you to be aware of is that they run these really different excursions. So they still have the small group whale watching excursions, or the small group, excursions for anything, quite frankly. And but when it comes to whale watching, you'll be in the smaller boat, you'll be down lower to the water, you're going to see the whales more up close and personal. If you want to take photos of them, you're going to be able to get better photos of them doing that. And so, depending on what you want your experience to be, just be aware of that when you're looking at your excursions. And if you want the small boat experience, I would say book that as soon as you book your cruise. And if you want to be on a big boat with a lot of other people and sit there and look out the window, and that is good enough for you, then the big boat thing is awesome. And you can go outside. They had some viewing areas along the sides of the boat in the back, and you can go out and do that. Not as many people were doing it yesterday because it was pouring rain, so that kind of complicated matters a little bit. But I felt like I should let you know that change has kind of evolved as tourism has evolved. I will say, I know that Juneau and the cruise lines have a gentleman's agreement, they would call it an understanding, to not have more than 5 large cruise ships in the port on a day. And so when we were there yesterday, there were 4 ships, and the Holland America ships, and probably even the Celebrity Solstice, are not considered the really big ships. Even the Royal Princess is not as big as, say, your Quantum of the Seas. And so just be ready to have a lot of people there in town. So after we went on our excursion, which, by the way, we got to see whales, we really enjoyed that. Then we went over to the Mendenhall Glacier and got to walk around. Gordon and I took the trail that you walk down, and it takes you right down to the shores of the lake there, and you get beautiful views of the glacier. And then we walked around that area quite a bit, and then we walked up and saw the visitor center again. It had been a few years since we had been there, so that was really nice, and just thoroughly took it in and had a really lovely time. Once we got back into Juneau, we went ahead and walked around, just looked in a few shops, and then we headed back and got on board the ship. So we had a really nice day in Juneau. I just love Juneau. It is in a rainforest, so you expect it to rain there, but to me, it is such a cool town, just because it has all the government buildings there and the headquarters for the state there, but it has so much history associated with the native people there, and the whales that are so easily seen there in Ock Bay. I think it's a really special place, so I hope that you enjoy it if you get to go. Now, as far as how everything is going here on our Holland America cruise, we are having truly the best time. Everything is going really well. This evening we ate in the main dining room again, and it was absolutely delicious. They had like a chicken with gnocchi, and it was really delicious. They had strawberry pavlova is what I chose for dessert. It was really delicious. And then let's see, what did we do for lunch today?
Dive in.
Oh, we went to the Dive In Burger place that is out by the pool, and that was really good. It was really good. And then for breakfast, I didn't have breakfast, and Gordon just grabbed a little bit up at the buffet. So the food, like I said the other day, the food is fine. It's not like, oh my goodness gracious, but it's not bad either. And as we're always saying, food is very subjective. So I think you can look forward to having fine food to eat on board this ship if you're coming on the Eurodam soon. As far as entertainment goes, this evening we went to a show called Sing, and it was 3 gentlemen and 1 lady. They were the singers, and they sang fun, popular songs. They did a really good job. We went and listened to, there's a trio that plays in the piano, they play the piano, the bass, and the electric guitar, and they play in the Ocean Bar, and they are really, really good. That would be the best music I've heard on this ship. Really, really good. Last night we went and heard the B.B. King Jazz Band. They did a really good job. One thing I do like about on the Eurodam is they have like a whole separate lounge for B.B. Kings, and it's like built acoustically to handle the music, and it is really a fun place to be. There's a dance floor. A lot of people were dancing a little bit later in the evening, and it was actually really good. So we thoroughly enjoyed that as well. Anything else I'm forgetting, love? I want to add that our stateroom stewards are amazing. We have 2 of them. It's Surrey and Bagus are their names, and they are always happy. They are so willing to do anything that you ask them to. They really go out of their way. In the main dining room, the servers are extraordinary. Everywhere you go on the ship, this crew is amazing. I want to make sure everybody knows that. Really, 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 really take good care of everyone here on board.
Stewards call us by name.
And they do. Even if we see them somewhere else on the ship,
yeah.
The room stewards do call us by name. They remember it. So they don't just remember us outside of our door. They remember us anywhere they see us. So if you have any questions about Alaska, anything you want us to find out about Holland America, let me know. I would be delighted to do that. Oh, that's all I have to add on that. So if you appreciate these updates, would you please give this video a thumbs up? And if you have not subscribed yet, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you with us, and I think you'll enjoy being part of our Let's Go family. I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.